This is India, the seventh largest country in the world, and the fifth largest economy by nominal GDP. Despite its growing economic significance, India is often overlooked compared to its more developed neighbors like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. However, India's staggering population of over 1.4 billion people plays a major role in its apparent wealth. With that said, many would argue that there are two Indias. One where roughly 300 million citizens own a phone and are considered consumers, and another that, from a distance, makes it seem as though India is one of the poorest countries on the planet. In 2024, Business Standard put this perfectly, saying there are two main political stories in India today. One that speaks for an aspiring India, and another for a hopeless India. And there is definitely some truth in that. A look across the country shows massive differences in GDP per capita, reflecting regional disparities in production and infrastructure. This can clearly be seen on the map, which shows GDP per capita as an indirect indicator of economic activity and income in each of India's 28 states and 8 union territories. Nearly 65% of India's population is rural and contributes about 50% of India's GDP. And what we can see is that GDP is specifically concentrated in India's northern and western coastal regions, particularly in states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Delhi. These regions have developed strong export bases, thriving industries such as manufacturing, and are far less dependent on agriculture compared to India's central and eastern regions. Maharashtra is the largest state economy in India, contributing a substantial portion of the country's GDP. Gujarat is also a major economic powerhouse, with a considerable share of India's GDP, while Delhi, despite its smaller size, has a notable and growing share of the national GDP. The West and West Coast, with its access to major ports, modern infrastructure, and proximity to key global markets, has led the country in industrial and economic growth. But as India keeps growing through innovation and booming industries, the gap is closing fast, pointing to a future where wealth isn't limited to certain places, but something that is spread across the whole country. It's incredibly difficult to get a true picture of wealth in India. While there are over 100 million citizens who are comfortably well off, a significant portion of the population struggles with poverty. This huge difference makes assessing the country's economic health extremely challenging. According to Statista, in India, over 326,000 individuals hold a net worth of $1 million or more. Yet the country also houses over a fifth of the world's poorest people, with 234 million living in poverty according to recent reports. So how is India finally becoming a rich country? Today on Across the Globe, we'll explore exactly that. As of 2025, it feels like nearly the whole planet is in upheaval due to the global trade war. President Donald Trump came out hot in his second term, taking particular aim at China, and it caused ripple effects across the whole world. But where India comes into the mix is a little different, as China's recent struggles in global manufacturing are actually inadvertently pushing India's economic growth. In 2024, as smartphone imports from China dipped 70%, India's exports to the US rose 11.6% to $86.5 billion. At the same time, India's trade deficit with China widened to nearly $100 billion, driven by its dependence on Chinese electronic components. In April 2025, Hindustan Times reported that India is finding the traction to position itself as a manufacturing hub that's attractive to global tech companies with electronics and automotive components. This shift is also noticeable in sectors like textiles, where India is gaining that same traction as a low-cost labor hub with a fast-improving infrastructure. The situation mirrors Mexico's advantageous position following US tariffs, highlighting a nearshoring boom as companies move operations from China to India to reduce reliance on the Chinese market and avoid tariffs. This relocation, driven by the desire for a more stable trade environment and cost-effective production, is reinforcing India's manufacturing sector with substantial investment, helping solidify its place as a rising global manufacturing powerhouse. However, India has been thriving in trade for much longer than this. India's geographic position offers significant advantages in the global economy. Situated in South Asia, its proximity to key markets in Asia, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia provides easy access to crucial trade routes. India's huge coastline, with 13 major ports handling the majority of its cargo, makes it an important piece of global trade. Simply put, its location makes it easy to move goods and services, helping strengthen its economy. The expanding manufacturing, technology, and service sectors in Indian cities, like Bangalore's rise as the Silicon Valley of India, show the growing importance of these hubs in the global market. While growth was initially concentrated in specific regions, this momentum is gradually spreading eastward, supported by increased investments in states like West Bengal and Odisha. This expansion suggests a future where India's economic influence extends across the entire nation, potentially transforming the country into a fully integrated economic powerhouse. However, even with optimistic forecasts, India likely won't surpass China as the world's leading exporter anytime soon. But substantial growth opportunities are still there. In 2023, India became the second largest source of imports for the US, a significant contributor to its rapid G20 leading economic growth. By 2024, imports from India to the US totaled $87.4 billion for the year, a 4.5% increase from 2023. As a result, this has boosted wages and driven progress across many key sectors. However, India is not without its challenges. The country remains highly unequal, with a large portion of wealth controlled by a small percentage of the population. It has one of the highest levels of income inequality among large economies. With 1 in 4 people in India living in poverty, this statistic is way too high for a country aspiring to become wealthier. Yet, the country still has a lot going for it elsewhere, leading many to say it's on its way to becoming a super rich nation. In August 2024, the World Bank claimed that India is on its way to becoming the world's third largest economy within the next 6 years. So, what's going so well here? As we mentioned, India is situated in a very advantageous location. Positioned at the crossroads of the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, this makes it a key node for trade between these regions. India has a neighborhood-first policy and has historically enjoyed strong ties with the GCC member states, shaped by geographic proximity, historical trade links, energy security, and the presence of a large Indian diaspora. According to the Tribune, over 8.9 million Indians live and work in the GCC countries, making it one of the largest expatriate communities in the region. And with the Gulf countries supplying a substantial portion of India's crude oil and natural gas needs, the GCC is one of India's largest trading partners, surpassing even the European Union. India's coastline along the Indian Ocean provides crucial access to major global shipping lanes, connecting it to markets in Africa, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Australia. This maritime advantage, facilitated by key ports like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Jawaharlal Nehru, solidifies India's role as a central player in international maritime trade. And India's geographical dominance doesn't end there, as the country has deep and well-connected ties with rapidly growing economies in Southeast Asia. Sharing both land and sea borders with countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia, which are important parts of the ASEAN economic bloc, allows India to leverage profitable trade agreements and investment opportunities. This proximity creates substantial trade in sectors such as electronics, textiles, and automobiles. India's Look East and Act East policies actively support stronger economic and strategic ties with ASEAN, further enhancing this regional integration and potential for shared wealth. The Diplomat reports that the ASEAN-India Free Trade Agreement, signed in 2014, gave a major boost to their economic ties. By 2021-22, India's business with ASEAN hit $42.3 billion, accounting for over 10% of India's global trade. But what about China? Sure, tensions already exist, and India inadvertently thriving from the tariffs may have added to this, but there's much more to look into than that. India's geographical proximity to China, the world's second largest economy, presents an odd blend of opportunities. As mentioned, India shares a border of approximately 3,488 kilometers with China, making it one of the few nations directly adjacent to this economic powerhouse. As this border is not fully defined, this has led to ongoing disputes and disagreements between the two countries, leading the area to be nicknamed the Tension Zone. The India-China border dispute has its roots in the 1950s, escalating into a brief conflict in 1962 over its exact boundaries. India faced a setback during this war, resulting in the loss of Aksai Chin, a region that continues to be a matter of contention between the two nations. Yet, despite the historical divisions and ongoing tensions between India and China, both nations have managed to find common ground and collaborate. Notably, New Delhi and Beijing work together within organizations such as BRICS and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. India's strengths in industries like IT outsourcing and manufacturing complement China's large industrial base. This dynamic creates a natural economic partnership in certain sectors, allowing both countries to benefit from the advantages of being neighbors located in the heart of Asia. As for the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, although India has not fully embraced China's infrastructure project, it remains indirectly influenced by the trade networks and connectivity improvements that China promotes throughout Asia. The developments stemming from the BRI enhance regional infrastructure, presenting opportunities for India to engage with these networks while advancing its own infrastructure goals. In this way, India leverages its proximity to China as a catalyst for growth. So, you might be wondering, how does India manage its relationship with the United States? Being in close proximity to the US in the context of global trade routes helps India take advantage of both market access and political alliances, especially in the fields of technology, defense, and education. To put it simply, the two nations have shared interests in promoting global security, stability, and economic prosperity through trade, investment, and connectivity, and historically have deepened collaborations on issues such as counterterrorism and countering Chinese influence. India's rapidly growing economic relationship with the United States is shown by its strategic role as a rising power in the Indo-Pacific region. As one of India's largest trading partners, the US plays a pivotal role in facilitating trade, investment, and technological collaboration. This relationship has been further supported by India's thriving outsourcing industry, which provides cost-effective services while meeting the demands of American businesses. Additionally, a strong Indian diaspora in the US fosters cultural and economic ties, contributing to bilateral trade growth and mutual understanding. The partnership between India and the United States not only bolsters economic gains, but also promotes stability and security across the Indo-Pacific, making it a cornerstone of both nations' strategic objectives. And it could just be that this relationship will only tighten further. In April 2024, US Vice President J.D. Vance met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and both countries said that they had made progress in negotiating a bilateral trade deal which Delhi hopes will help it avoid higher tariffs. Speaking at a program in the western city of Jaipur, Vance said, "This is a vital step toward realizing President Trump and Prime Minister Modi's vision because it sets a roadmap toward a final deal between our nations. But I also believe that if we fail to work together successfully, the 21st century could be a very dark time for all of humanity." Outside of alliances with other countries, India also thrives in many ways due to its large youth population. While not a geographic factor per se, India's population density and youthful demographic are major drivers for its economy. India's rapidly growing population has long been recognized as a major asset for its economy, reaching its staggering population of 1.4 billion by 2023. This secured its position as the most populous country. By comparison, the EU's population of around 450 million is only a third of India's. According to EAC International Consulting, when it comes to demographic advantage and economic stability, India leads the way with a median age of 28, which is significantly younger than other major industrialized countries in the G20. They noted that this demographic advantage ensures a steady flow of workers and keeps the domestic economy competitive. While China will lose more than 200 million workers aged 15 to 64 by 2050, India is expected to gain 160 million workers over the same period. So while it seems like India is well on its way to becoming a rich country, there are still a few hurdles it needs to jump over. One major challenge is the informal economy, where a substantial segment of the workforce remains unregulated and vulnerable. According to the International Monetary Fund, in terms of employment share, the unorganized sector employs 83% of the workforce, and there are 92.4% informal workers with no written contract, paid leave, and other benefits in the economy. Furthermore, there are also 9.8% informal workers in the organized sectors, indicating the level of outsourcing. With a large portion of the economy operating informally, resources may not be allocated efficiently. This can hinder overall economic growth and prevent the effective scaling of businesses. Furthermore, the informal nature of many businesses means that they often do not contribute to the tax system, leading to significant revenue losses for the government. India also grapples with productivity issues, especially in the agricultural and rural sectors, which continue to play a crucial role in the economy. Enhancing efficiency across these sectors is vital for boosting overall productivity and ensuring sustainable development. So, to truly prosper, India must implement comprehensive reforms that formalize and optimize its labor market, while addressing productivity bottlenecks, creating a balanced and resilient economy that can provide opportunities for all its citizens. And then, it will finally be recognized as a rich country. What about why living in the US gets worse every year?